voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who is tuned in to INCRadio, San Francisco, California. I'll be your host today, and my name is Sophia, and I'm joining you live from Burlingame. So exciting. We have a great topic. As you all may know, throughout the whole month of October, our topic is all about leadership. And so today we're digging into a specific type of leadership that is leading a family. And what better way to discuss that with having some very special panelists with us today. Can we go ahead and introduce ourselves, starting off with our sister right over here? We'll take it down the line.
Hello, Paul. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our viewers and listeners. My name is Sister Charlene, or Ate Char, or Char for short, from Burlingame. And yes, I am a mom of three daughters, choir members. I'm a choir member myself, a booklet officer, Paul, and also just recently took up a Light of Salvation duty.
Wow.
So that's the latest news. But we're
Welcome.
happy to be here, Paul.
We're happy to have you, Ate.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. First of all, thank you for having us as panelists. We're very honored, Paul. My name is Darwin Lee. I'm third head deacon in the local congregation of Burlingame and also district booklet president. But honestly, my first office is, of course, to be a loving husband.
Wow.
And second is to be a proud
So
parent
sweet.
of three girls.
Wow. Aw, so we have the parent perspective, and now we're going to go over to the ate or older sister perspective. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sister Irish from the locale of Hayward, and I am a choir member, a CWS teacher in the media as well, and a CBI officer. And I am the eldest of two. Right, I have a younger brother who's also just entered his 30s. So very excited to be here, and I know it's going to be a heartfelt one. Yeah, honored to be here.
I know I'm already feeling the heartfeltness. And, I know you all introduced your role, or I guess not really placement, but yeah, your role within the family. And so the next question I have for you guys, how would you say your familial vibe is? Is your family very tight knit? Are you adventurous? More of the calm, like watching movies together? What is your usual vibe as a family?
I'll let you take that one.
Oh, the vibe, our family
Go over it at the
vibe.
jar.
Yeah. So
the vibe.
the
What is
vibe.
the vibe?
Well, we're raising three daughters,
Yes.
so that they're really right now they're into uh involved in school and they're focusing in schoolwork right now. So as a fan, we like to relax together, like watch movies, and that's really how we just relax. I don't know what we watch.
I would
movies,
say we're the spontaneous type of family.
like going out to dinners
Yeah.
and walking down, just grabbing ice cream together. It's sort of not. We're not really like, well, the more we try to do, it doesn't happen. So if it's spontaneous together, what they're into in that particular season,
Yeah.
whether we play volleyball or we go to the park or we just kind of go with the flow of things because of our schedules are so busy. We try to make time as much as possible. It's kind of squeeze in that family time
That's true.
to be together and connect and talk over dinner or over pizza or
That's true. Yeah, knowing you guys too, you're definitely the very responsible and productive family
Spontaneous.
type too. Yeah, in your offices and responsibilities, especially the girls being in like school age as well. How about with your siblings too, Irish? What would you say the vibe is?
Okay.
Do you tease each other? I have an only child perspective, so it was always interesting to me.
Oh yes, teasing is there's a fine line between teasing and roasting. So there's definitely a lot of that happening. My brother, he was in the Marines, so
Wow.
I definitely like when he entered that, the the dynamic shifted. He's definitely a man now, right? I can't
Mm.
tease my little brother anymore. But we were definitely an outdoorsy family as well.
Oh.
Right. I grew up in Saipan, so it's an
Yeah.
island. Love the beach. Every weekend, we'd
Yeah.
either be jogging as a family, very outdoorsy, really.
Yeah.
Swimming, fish. My dad loved fishing. But at home, we're very much movies, teleserye, and then
Aw.
also just cooking together. A
Yeah.
lot of time together, but
Yes,
I think it
cooking.
was just well balanced with our individual time. I don't know if that is a realistic vibe that we have where it's like as much as we love spending time together, everyone always kind of afterwards it's like,
Yeah.
okay, back to our my brother and I always shared a room.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, we had a lot of time together, but we still kind of did our own thing at
Yeah.
the same. There was a good balance.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Foodies. So we
Yeah.
like to,
Yes. Food
yes.
is a must. Food brings the families
Nice.
together.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
Foodies.
awesome. And now that we're speaking so much about family, of course, that reminds me of our live chat question of the day. So if you are tuned into the live chat, go ahead and share a special shout out to a member of your family. Go ahead and say, maybe someone you appreciate, someone you want to send a shout out to. And yeah, go ahead and send your greetings over. And so I guess if I had one more question, if you guys had one word to describe your family dynamic, what would it be?
I'll
It's a
let the
tough
least
one.
go first again. I have to think. I have to think.
Oh yeah, I already said it's spontaneous. We're
Spontaneous.
definitely
That's
Yeah,
a good
good
spontaneous.
one.
one.
Give a
Yeah,
good one.
Creative.
That's a great one.
Ooh,
Creative.
creative.
that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Creative is great.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
said outdoorsy, but that doesn't really like our mesh. Like, um, actually, we're an emotional family.
Ooh.
Yeah, like we can get really like my mom loves sharing stories of her childhood, her family,
Oh,
and that always like instantly my brother and I are like, oh, it's getting
yeah.
deep, and I don't know, we're emotional, right? So that
Yeah.
that
Oh,
includes being passionate when we talk, we share,
yeah.
right? So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Passion is
yes,
so
for you as well.
important, especially when it comes to like being that leader of the family. So I feel like this is a good question for Kadarwin first. What would you say? Here it comes getting deep already. How would you define, leading a family? What does it really mean to lead your family?
Well, definitely, as a father, it's very challenging because first of all, nobody really trains us as a
That's
parent,
true.
right?
That's true.
Besides, of course, the teachings of God that we learn from our worship services, from our offices. But to lead is definitely to show them how to do things by example. First of all, being active in the church, being the first one to hold an office and be participating in on all of the activities. That's the thing that we try to instill in our kids is to be in all of the activities. So I would say that would be the number one is to be active in church and to be the first one to lead them in doing that.
Love
That's a
that.
good
Love that.
one. Man, I'm soaking it in, just thinking the answers and thinking, man. And I mean, you have a unique perspective, Irish, because, leading as an older sister, that's different than leading children. But what would you share about that, about the responsibility of sometimes being the eldest sibling, right? What's that like?
There's the panganay syndrome, right? The eldest syndrome,
I can
where
relate.
it's tough because just as much as you will be their first child,
Yeah.
right? So everything there's a first, right? The first mistakes, the first fights, the how you react to that, how you self-soothe or comfort or come together. But because you are an older sibling, there's someone watching.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be that part of you that's like, man, I'm going through it.
Yeah.
But then, you also have to be more emotionally intelligent and compassionate, realizing like, okay, I don't want to lose it completely because someone is watching me,
That's
and
true.
that they're gonna remember how I'm handling myself, how I'm either working with my family or against my family, right? And you always want to set that good example, like Kadar was saying, because apart from outside the home, again, you carry yourself outside, they're gonna follow that. If you're active in your duties,
Yeah.
if you're kind to people, they'll be seeing that, even if you forget, even if you don't always see them,
Yeah.
right?
Was that a lot of pressure
It is
for you?
it,
Because
uh,
I can totally relate to.
it can be a lot of pressure, but see, it's like if you already had those conversations with your parents, and that's why I love hearing my mom and my dad's stories of how they were with their siblings. I think that kind of starts there, right? And it's like you, without realizing, you're like, I want that too. I want that close bond. And how does that work? you leave. You don't forget that there's somebody there, and you also gotta share your experiences, because it's not enough that they're watching you. You gotta talk. You're like, hey, so this is what happened. I know it looked like this, but this is what I'm going through, and you know, you'll
You
be.
guys were so open then. I
We
feel
were.
like
Yeah.
that's good.
We were. We
I love
were. The
that.
teen years were tough, but we were.
They
They are. They are.
I love that.
Brother,
I don't
brother and
think-
sister
yeah.
dynamic is different from, I'm sure, girls.
No, but that's good.
Yeah.
You're open
Yeah.
to talk about
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, well, yes,
all
well.
the issues.
No, for
Yes,
sure.
well.
And that's awesome because, it really mentions that communication is an important part of leading a family, right? Because
Very.
then, you're showing by example, but you're also showing through the words and like the reminders that you're giving to. And we have a couple of really sweet comments that are coming in already in the live chat. And again, if you're reading and in the live chat, go ahead and share with us a special shout out or a comment that you have to one of your family members. Now's a great time to, go ahead and send some shout outs over. So I see Sister Aislinn is in the chat and she says, special shout out to my mommy, Mildred. So sweet. She babysits my kids so my husband and I can work and have date nights. And
Love that.
yeah, I see from Sister Danielle, she's there in the chat, and she says, I love that my mom is also the eldest daughter from her siblings. So there's a lot that we're able to talk and relate to. And that's really sweet to hear, Danielle. And we have Brother Zach and Sister Izzy as well, who are saying Zach and I are both Putsos. They're both the youngest
the
ones in the family.
Yeah.
That's
Like a Darwin,
awesome.
it's a
I'm
baby.
curious. I'm curious about the family
Oh,
dynamic.
yeah, that's a
It's a
good
dynamic,
one.
but yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm the eldest of my 3
Uh-huh.
siblings.
I'm the
and
youngest of 4.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Do you think that, like, I don't know, how does that help out your relationship too?
Especially
Or
parents
does it
like the
help you?
dynamic?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah, yeah.
he definitely calms my storm. So
Oh, that's good.
it's like the
That's
ate
good.
versus the bunso.
That's
So
mostly
I
true
think
in a
it just
family.
Yeah,
The
the
bunso
youngest
tends
usually
to
just
be-
observes and
Yeah.
learns from the mistakes
The
of their
pacifier.
siblings.
Yes, 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 yes. The
'Cause as-
peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yes,
because
yes.
as the ate, you're always like the first. You're leading. You're always like like we thought the third parent.
Yes,
So
yes, well, yes, well.
he knows. Yeah, it's nice to have that
You
kind of
have that
opposites.
balance.
Yeah,
That's
the
really
balance
nice.
is good. Yeah.
That's nice.
Totally. Oh man, from an only child perspective, I'm like, what do I? Just kidding, just joking around. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really awesome to
You're
hear.
both.
And
You're
I
both.
know
That's true.
everything,
That's
everywhere,
true.
all at once. Just
That's
kidding,
true.
just kidding. But how is it? Because we kind of talked about communication, sharing examples of or leading by example when it comes to leading your families. Are there other ways that you also try to actively encourage the family members under your care? Because I mean, I know from a parent perspective too, right? It's that balance of being strict, but also being reassuring on the kids. So, how do you kind of work to encourage, especially raising young girls, right, Atachar?
Okay, I'll share what I can
Yeah.
about encouragement. I think for what raising daughters are tough. Tough. It's not for the faint of heart. And I know a lot of mamas and a lot of us know exactly at this stage of the game, at this generation, a lot of it, and we have gone through a hill where, okay, this is how we have to communicate with them. Meaning we've opened up to our daughters about everything really at this point so that they can be honest with their lives as iglesianicristo church girls,
Not just setting the rules, but explaining why those rules are there and
and
what
they're
the
uncomfortable sometimes.
consequences or
If it-
things are, right?
we go there, to those hard topics, and they're teenagers, right? We're at the midst of teenage, so we just try to really encourage them to pray every day, even though it gets repetitive. But like walking out the door, make sure to pray, or make sure to always put God first. Little things like that, and that it may sound like it's repetitive.
And it's the best feeling, like proud moment when they ask us, can you anoint me with oil because I'm feeling sick? That's the best.
They turn to faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They turn to
And
faith.
they went
Oh,
to you
man.
too,
Yeah.
instead of again their friends, or they went
Yeah.
straight to
Yeah,
their parents.
yeah.
That's great.
And because for a while it hasn't been that like
Yeah.
that, because when I think when we were more open,
Yeah, it's good. That's good.
when we're
Yeah.
honest now, because we were like just starting just a couple of years, we were even scared to talk about our faith. openly because we were in a new place.
Yeah.
And you know what? We trusted and we said, okay, we're going to live as our lives as open as possible as iglesias, no hiding what we're doing. We're going to have Bible studies. What are you doing? We're having Bible studies. You want to come? So it's when we started opening up our lives, our activities, it became so much like a relief ball. Like
And now they're the ones bringing their friends to Bible studies,
Aw,
to the
yeah.
evangelical mission.
we
So
gave it a
That's so
chance. We
great.
gave it a
That's so
chance. Yeah.
real.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wonderful.
I know. I wish we had
They literally
photos to
led by
show. They
and
did.
they reap the rewards because
Yeah.
their children
We're
follow.
holding on to our girl.
Totally.
They're the ones teaching us.
Yeah, and it's awesome how like openness is also a part of leadership, is what you guys are showing.
Absolutely.
in
That
leading the
transparency.
family. Yeah.
It's scary, but I'm not. We're not gonna lie. It's
Yeah,
not.
that vulnerability too.
It's also. But then we remember that there's purpose to all of this. That we're showing them um, a way to live your life and be proud of who you are. You don't have to pretend otherwise. So
Yes.
it helps that we're open to them and they're open to
Yeah.
us.
Oh yeah.
That's a great, and I
Yeah.
mean, because we kind of mentioned about how, of course, your girls are like teenagers or, at that age now. Would you have any advice for those parents who are just starting off? Like, because I know there's a lot of newborns in our district and a lot of young parent, like young beginning
Yes, well,
parents. Would you have any advice too about what it takes to just start off with that?
oh, definitely don't rely on screen time.
Oh, yeah.
These days, it's such easy access to social
Yeah.
media.
Social
That
media,
even as
yeah.
babies, right? They can
Oh.
already scroll.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what they could do with an iPad to scroll.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely limit that and
Yeah.
have more real FaceTime,
Yeah.
real
That,
communication.
that took over for a while, the social media aspect of things, but they were like a test that we saw it. We saw them, their grades were going down. They were just not connected. And we're like, this is not healthy. Like there's something not connecting with the social media. So we took it away. Basically, we just forwarded them a lot of INC kids stuff, a lot of honestly, like we took away the ones that were distracting them
Mhm.
that had no purpose in their lives really, just to distract them 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm like, back in the day, we would just close,
Yeah.
the phone and we go home, we don't talk to our friends. But the social media, they were there the whole time and constantly every day it affected the way they slept, the way they talked to their friends.
Yeah, and then to supplement that is to start them young in being active in the church, right? So we brought them to everything.
100%.
All of the district activities, they were there with us. Even if we have to set up, they're there with us setting up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even as babies, right? So
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when we first had Vivian, we would bring her to the secretary's office with her crib, and she would be in there with us doing
She'd be
reports.
performing right
Love
next to
Yeah.
us, but yeah.
We only had one then.
We see parents doing that too.
So we
Yeah.
see the the mamas that they're performing. I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You just
So they're exposed
Always
to the
with it.
lifestyle of
Yeah.
an active church member.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
right.
Yeah, they're like writing their names on forms already. At like 1 year old. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
they got used to being around. It didn't become like pressure filled. Like you have to
Yeah.
go to all these
Right.
things.
Totally.
You
It's
sort
their
of
norm.
gave them
Yeah, it's a norm.
well,
It's their
Yeah.
a lifestyle.
Yes,
It's their
that's right.
lifestyle.
100%. And instead of, being like, oh, I'm bored at home, they have this great activity to like go to. And so, let's go ahead and see if we have any shout outs in the live chat because I know we have a lot who have been tuning in. Let's see. We have, I'm going to go ahead from the top and see what we have. Alex Laredo, our CFO overseer, says special shout out to Brother
Oh.
Darwin and Sister Char. We also have, again, Ka Felmar says, greetings from San Francisco. And we also have Sister Eileen Capuyan, happy viewing Paul from San Pablo, BAC. And so, oh, my eyes are watering. Sorry, Paul, my allergies are acting up today, but
I'm not making you cry, Reese.
just maybe it's a little bit of the tears.
Tears of
coming on
joy.
in. But while I get that situated, the last question I have for you guys, what are the values that really guide your family as well in the day to day? Yeah, I'm gonna fix my allergies that are like.
I'll go first, only because again, I feel like
I'll
it's
go
letting
last.
the parents go. The Yeah. The values that we have as a family is my mom and my dad. They've instilled this at very young. I remember, like, even though I was as young as like 4 or 3 the earliest I can remember, I was sitting in the worship services with my parents, right? So we always put God first, always pray. No matter what happens, right? God will always hold higher than us. There were even as a child, it was difficult to understand. Again, we're emotional. So when your parents tell you that, like, okay, we love you, but it is God first. And as a child, you're like, what? What? There's someone higher than the love for me? But then when that's instilled in you, that's also gonna be your faith. Because again, no family is perfect. Um, Life is difficult, and you're gonna go through challenges that there will be those hills that sometimes we won't be able to tell everything to our parents, and vice versa. But God is there, and I think because our parents raised us really well and really young in the church, um that well that's why I'm here, right? That's what we attest, that every success, every experience that been able to experience, especially in our duties, I owe it all to my parents.
Thank you, mom and dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do. Yeah, I love you both. I miss you
yeah.
both.
Aw.
Opo.
Man.
Yeah, definitely putting God first.
Yeah.
That was my answer. But besides
Same,
besides
boss.
that, which is very important, by the way,
Yeah.
what I like to remind them all the time is actually like patience and understanding, like constant, right? To be able to get along with anybody, especially as siblings being close in age to each other. Of course, there's disagreements all the time.
Yeah.
But if you have that patience, that understanding of where the other person's coming from, it's easier to get along, and not just with each other and us as parents when we're kind of lecturing them, but also with everyone, the whole world. When you grow up, you go to work and you have conflicts at work, you have that patience, that understanding to get along well with others.
I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I know.
go for it,
I
go
think
for it.
that was really great. But then Kuya just inspired me. I remember like something my parents. Speaking of siblings, my parents would always instill in us like, one day it's just gonna be you and your brother.
I was gonna
So
say
you got to take care of each other. And those conversations as kids and then as a teenager, it's gonna make us cry because it's like, well, you can't imagine a life without your parents. But that's going back to your first question. Like, there's someone watching. That means there's someone you also got to take care of. Make
going
sure
off.
they stay in the church with you. They reach their faith with you, right? You always got to remember that. They always instill take care of each other.
I'm gonna jump off of that
Yeah,
one
think
too,
about-
because exactly that we wanted to tell the girls that they have responsibility for each other, because there's three of them. There's ate, middle, and bunso, and I always tell them you have a responsibility to each other. As ate, you look out for the other two. The middle, you're responsible to look. Sort of like you're reminding each other, looking out for each other all the time, that you're a team. And it's the same thing, but as they perform their duties, I said, you have to look out for the little one. She's still learning how to perform her duty, and so the values of how to be a good sibling, a family, like that comes first, like looking out for each other. And it's the same thing as reminding each other with going to worship services, performing your duties. And we're in that stage now, Leon, the deeply rooting part, as we were talking about earlier, because we're really trying to deeply root them at this point of our raising kids stage. And it's again with praying Paul every day, the devotional prayers, praying every moment, any moment, really. It's not I can't say that it's just an overnight thing. It's a little, you invest a little bit of time, a little bit of family hour. We try to always.
Yeah, every opportunity basically, right? To find a lesson to teach, something to learn from them, for
And
them.
I want to say, Paul, also growing up in different districts, when I see a strong Kadiwa district officer, I said, "There's hope." That's exactly you. That is where the kind of child. People-
Yeah,
How do
I
you
hope
call
my child is
it
going to be
does
like
give
that.
me. It gives us so much
And there is,
to look
there
forward
really
to. Paul,
is.
when
That's what's great about
I'm
this
so
people.
proud of them.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
well. Yes, well. One
We
big
actually have a proud moment, if I'm allowed to mention, because Vivian, our oldest, just accepted an office as a district Bini vice president. So it was like, yes. Proud moment.
You
And
heard
I know
it
you're
here
watching.
first
So.
on INC Radio.
Hello,
You heard
girls.
it
Congrats,
here
well,
first.
congrats. Well, that's very proud.
That's actually a great
God's time, God willing po.
the congratulations, Opal. And also, man, I'm so happy to have you all on air today and to really hear this perspective because I know there's so much advice and wisdom that so many who are watching are really gonna benefit and take from this, especially those, who are just starting off their journey in raising kids or maybe relating to being
And we're
the
still
author in the
learning po.
family. Like
Yeah, we're still learning as
we're
well.
all still learning and we're all still, just trying our best to play that that responsible, encouraging role within our families. And speaking of the CFO, we have a couple of promos that we'd like to go ahead and share on our broadcast. So if our Clea Tech over there in the Philippines, if you could please go ahead and show the promotions we have. We have our district music team vocal workshop. That's going to be October 19th, 7 o'clock p.m. in Burlingame Function Hall. We also have, if we go ahead and see over to our calendar of activities, as you guys know, we had our Kadiwa trading card games and showcase. And also on the 19th, we have our CWS Career Corner, which will also be here in Burlingame at 5 o'clock p.m. We also are having our blood donation drive by the Felix Y. Manalo Foundation throughout this month. And at the end of the month, we're going to be having a Binhi Healthcare Appreciation. That's also in Burlingame Function Hall on Sunday the 26th at 4 o'clock p.m. So a lot of great activities to look forward to. And we're going to show some photos from the Kadiwa trading card games and showcase.
Just recently.
Yeah, just recently we held this. So here's our group photo. A special shout out, of course, to all of the Kadiwa officers. It was fun. We got to see some of our interests. We got to meet more brethren who also are interested in trading card games. Very strategic gaming style.
Yes.
We see our INC Radio Tech who's helping us today is also in that photo with our brother Paul playing some fun trading card games, as well as some of the brethren from Daly City, and we just had a lot of fun. It was really
Wow.
great to come together
It
and
was awesome.
play that kind of game. And so we hope to see you at future activities too,
Definitely.
within the District of Bay Area, California. And so we don't want to
Come join us.
Yeah, come join us and lead your family by coming to all of these
Yes.
activities all throughout the weeks here in Bay Area. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and wrap it up because we have, our next show is going to be INC Radio, Silicon Valley. But before we do, we have a huge thank you to all of those who listened, who watched, who supported in the live chat. And thank you, of course, as well again to our panelists who joined us today. And thank you so much to all those who help us and really support us here within our district. So I'd like to go ahead and say a thank you to our multimedia advisor, Brother Jonathan Ibarra, our CFO overseer, Brother Alex Cerrito, and to our Assistant District Supervising Minister, Brother Raywell Del Rosario, as well as to our District Supervising Minister, Brother Jojo Bayani. Thank you also so much to those who help us within INC Radio. So our Clea Tech over there in the Philippines, as well as our Clea Tech with us, Brother Joel, helping out behind the scenes, as well as to our Executive Producer, Brother Manly Andaya. Thank you also so much to our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Manalo, and to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, for all of your help on this platform and allowing us to have INC Radio broadcasts like this.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you po.
Can I give a very quick shout out?
Yeah, go for
Happy
it.
birthday to my brother.
Oh, really?
Today's his birthday, actually. He's there in San Diego. So happy birthday,
Happy
Ate.
birthday.
Happy
po.
birthday. Love you.
And also,
Timing.
shout out to our youngest daughter, Sister Lexa. Her
She'll be
birthday's in
11.
4 days. So happy birthday, Lexa.
Advance happy birthday, Lexabu.
Happy birthday.
Yay.
Wow.
And
Hello to Ates.
safe travels to all the choir members going to Texas.
Have fun po.
Safe travels.
Thank you
Safe
so
travels
much.
po.
See you there,
Bye.
Paul.
See you
Bye, everyone.